16 ministers sworn in before the president. President hints about state ministerial portfolios.
අපිට සඳුදා පමණ පුළුවන් ඉතුරු රාජ්‍ය අමාත්‍ය දුර ලබා දෙන්නට.
Another protest opposite Sirikota. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu defiant after being charged with corruption.
Taking a look at your top story, the swearing-in ceremony of the new cabinet was held at the Presidential Secretariat this morning. 16 ministers, including the Prime Minister, were sworn in before President Gotabaya Rajapaksa.
Mahinda Rajapaksa, Finance, National Policies, Economic Affairs, Urban Development, Buddha Sasana, Religious Affairs, Housing and Water Supply. Dinesh Gunawardena, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Skills Development, Employment and Labour Relations. Dr. Bandula Gunawardena, Minister of Higher Education, Technology and Innovations. Janaka Bandara Tennakone, Minister of State Administration, Internal Affairs, Provincial Council and Local Government. Nimal Siripala de Silva, Justice, Human Rights and Legal Reforms. Armugan Thondaman, Minister of Social Empowerment and Estate Infrastructure Development. Pavitra Devi Wanyarachi, Minister of Health and Indigenous Health Services and Women's and Children's Affairs. Douglas Devananda was sworn in as the Minister of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources Development. Johnson Fernando, Minister of Ports and Shipping and Roads and Highways. Vimal Veeravansa, Minister of Small and Medium Enterprise Development, Industries and Supply Management. Chamal Rajapaksa Mahavali, Agriculture, Irrigation and Rural Development, Internal Trade and Consumer Protection. Dala Salah Peruma, Education, Sports and Youth Affairs. Mahinda Amaravira, Minister of Passenger Transport Management, Power and Energy. S.M. Chandrasena, Minister of Lands and Land Development, Environment and Wildlife. Ramesh Patirana, Minister of Plantation Industries and Export Agriculture. Prasanna Ranatunga was also sworn in as the Minister of Industrial Exports and Investment Promotions, Tourism and Aviation.
අපි මේ කාලය තුල පිහිටවලා තියෙන්නේ අන්තර්කාලීන ආණ්ඩුවක්.
We have formed an interim government for this period. We are a government that is limited to implement the plan we presented and promises we made to the general public. This is why we formed a cabinet comprised of 12 members. We have many challenges ahead of us. We must overcome those challenges and fulfill the expectations of the general public. I expect your support to implement the pledges we made through our manifesto. We have limited our cabinet to 15 ministers. State ministers or those ministries are due to be appointed. We hope to appoint the state ministers by next week, somewhere around Monday. I request all ministers to extend their support to all state ministers to carry out their duties.
ප්‍රකාශනයේ ජනතාව වෙනුවෙන් අපි පොරොන්දු වුණු ප්‍රධාන කරුණු ක්‍රියාත්මක කිරීමට ඔබ සමගයේ සහාය මම මේ අවස්ථාවේදී.
Meanwhile, MP Udaya Gammanpilla, in a letter to the President, had noted he would not accept any ministerial portfolios in the interim government. In his letter, MP Udaya Gammanpilla says among the group who supported the President are 8 former cabinet ministers who are anticipating cabinet positions. He added many district leaders are also anticipating cabinet positions in the interim government. MP Udaya Gammanpilla says though it was initially proposed to form a cabinet of 10 members, it was a tough decision to limit it to even 15 members. He went on to say, considering the difficulties the President and the Prime Minister have in preparing the cabinet, he decided not to accept a cabinet position. Venerable Omare Kashyapatero expressed the following views during a media briefing in Colombo yesterday.
We request not to appoint anyone without a prior inquiry. At present, there are many who act fake under guise of education. There are many professors who do not possess a doctorate. Do not appoint anyone who does not fulfill the basic requirements. We strongly urge President Gotabaya Rajapaksa to take care of his safety. Be vigilant of the officers you appoint and ensure your image will not be tarnished.
Still in local news, one person engaged in a fast opposite the UNP headquarters in Sirikota, demanding that party leadership be given to Sajith Premadasa. The hunger strike was launched by a disabled war hero who claims Ranil Wickremesinghe continuing to remain as the leader of the UNP is the main reason for the party's continuous defeat. Meanwhile, another group that arrived at the scene was seen displaying placards in support of Ranil Wickremesinghe. A fire which broke out at a chemical factory in Angulana Morotua this morning has been completely doused. The fire brigade said the 4-storied building was severely damaged due to the fire that prevailed for more than 5 hours. More than 12 fire engines were used to douse the fire. The reason for the fire is yet to be ascertained. Further investigations into the incident are underway. In more local news, the Court of Appeal today ordered for the overseas travel ban imposed on Lalit Wiratunga, a former President's Secretary, to be lifted until the 13th of March 2020. Today, counsel for Wiratunga made a request from court on the matter as his client had received an invitation to accompany the president during his visit to India. The overseas travel ban was lifted by Justices Deepali Vijayasundara and Ruan Fernando. In addition, the bench ordered for the appeals filed by Lalit Wiratunga and Anusha Palpita against the prison sentence and fines imposed on them after they were found guilty over the charges in the silk cloth case at the Colombo High Court to be taken up for examination on the 13th of March. Meanwhile, the remains of former Prime Minister D.M. Jayaratne is due to be airlifted to the parliamentary complex from Gampala today. Parliamentary Secretary General Dhammika Dissanayake said the remains of former Prime Minister D.M. Jayaratne will be kept in Parliament from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. today. All past and present parliamentarians, family members, relations and friends, as well as former Parliament staff who wish to pay their final respects are requested to be present in Parliament on or before 12:30 p.m. today. The former Prime Minister died at the age of 88 while receiving treatment at a private hospital in Kandy. Taking a look back at some local news, here are the views expressed by leader of the United National Party, Ranil Wickremesinghe, at a media briefing held in Sirikotha today.
I can assure you that the mechanism and Sirikotha worked during this election. I deny the allegations that cite the campaign was weakened. We delegated responsibilities among our main ministers and members. We instructed them to fulfill those responsibilities. I took over the responsibility of northeastern votes. I was able to increase the voting percentage, but unfortunately, the votes in the south reduced. That became a reason behind this defeat. Although we won certain districts, we lost as a whole. The party must look into the reasons why it lost the Sinhala Buddhist votes, because it has never happened before. Results must be reviewed. There is no point in blaming one another. Party nor the office bearers held no responsibility on the finances for the campaign. We were not responsible for finances. I deny those allegations.
අපි මූල්‍ය කටයුතු බාරගත්තෙත් නැහැ. එහෙම චෝදනත් මම ප්‍රතික්ෂේප කරනවා.